What the ever-loving film is this? I genuinely have no idea if this thing is a bad joke, a cash grab, or a drunken bet that got out of control and into the real world. I mean, I'd say that it's a right retention project like the 1994 Fantastic Four movie, still the least awful Fantastic Four movie ever made, by the way, except that 1968's Night of the Living Dead, arguably the most influential horror film ever made, is, because of legal things, in the public domain. That means anyone can adapt, remake, or reimagine it with absolutely no payment to the studio creator or his estate. So go nuts, low-budget filmmakers. NB, I am not a lawyer, this is not legal advice, please don't come after me if anything happens with your remake. And whilst I have no issue with people remaking classic or indeed any other films if they can put some kind of unique or new spin or interpretation on the source material, there's none of that here. There's nothing here, really. Focus. I need to focus. I'm just so very, very confused. I mean, Night of the Living Dead is arguably the most influential horror film ever made, as George A. Romero reimagined an aspect of Caribbean folklore to what we understand as zombies today, i.e. cannibalistic resurrected corpses who can infect you through biting, assuming you don't get turned into lunch, are relatively easy to defeat in single combat but travel in hordes, and can seemingly only be killed by shooting them in the head or destroying the brain. It's still influential today, and while some parts of it haven't aged terribly well, it's actually a pretty good flick, and sadly its message and social commentary are still as relevant today as it ever was, and probably will be for many years. And the people behind this seem to know that, because they haven't done anything, and I mean anything, to improve the film, modernise it, or put their own spin on the material. Instead, they've done nothing to improve the film. A pretty thankless task, because it's pretty much a perfect zombie movie even today, by, say, updating some of the dialogue and characters. Instead, they've pretty much done a shot-for-shot remake, which is 20 minutes shorter than the original, for reasons I can only attribute to some small amount of mercy from whatever twisted god allowed this to leave whatever dusty shelf it should have rotted on for eternity. Now, this film isn't a terrible, unwatchable abomination because it's not well acted. The voice cast is fine, and the idea of animating this film is actually a pretty cool one. Imagine this film as an anime, or anything other than that creepy, bug-eyed style that's taking over Western animation. Instead, this film looks like really insanely bad, cheap Flash animation. It was so bad that I thought my laptop was playing up, so I deleted it, downloaded it onto my phone, and it was still just as bad. I've seen better animation on bad YouTube videos from a decade ago, and for go a horse, my kingdom for all the frames to be restored, as I swear, instead of running at the normal 24 frames a second, this thing runs at 12 to 20 as if there wasn't enough budget to animate enough frames to make this film look like it's full of animated characters, not some poorly animated cardboard being manipulated by an unknown off-screen 12-year-old. And whatever the rest of this film's benefits might have been, it just cannot get past the fact that the animation is so bad that I actually had to watch it in chunks because I just couldn't handle the animation for more than 15 minutes at a time. Look, if I could finish Cats twice...
Icing on the cake. Why did you want another
Ray or Mojo?
Then this dross isn't going to beat me. Just the arrogance of the studio execs who greenlit this thing baffles me. The original is for free on YouTube, and you want to charge £9.99 for this? The restored colour version is £2.49. The 1990s remake is also available, I'm sure, but those films are about creeping horror, dread, social commentary, and this has none of that. Within 3 minutes, the first zombie attack has happened, and the pace never lets up until the credits start rolling. There's no time to learn anything about anybody, allow anyone's death to sink in or affect the group dynamic, or even allow us to see a zombie lurch up behind an unsuspecting victim, as it's all so rushed. Because if they didn't have enough money for 24 frames animation a second, they sure as film didn't have enough money for a 90-minute runtime. So, yeah, Night of the Animated Dead is a poorly paced, adequately acted, essentially shot-for-shot remake of one of the greatest horror films of all time, with some of the worst animation I think I've ever seen. Seriously, there's a link to the original timeless masterpiece in the description box, just go watch that instead. So, this is a bomb! Do not see this film under any circumstances, but what do you guys think, and what is your favourite animated version of a live-action film? Comment below, let me know. I'm Daniel, Ben Duncan. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe.